program has begun. We bring you laughter and drama too, with music, quiz and fun.
Yes, ATN is on the air. Don't let a thing detain you. It's relaxing time. Pull up a chair. We're here to entertain you.
Your eyes should rest on ATN, the clearest in the nation. For programs that are far the best, it's Channel 7 station.
ATN Channel 7 now presents for your entertainment...
In the dark age, before TV came, in lounge rooms Australians would grouch, with nothing to watch but a radiogram. Oh, we were potatoes in search of a couch. That's how it was in the 50s. In every city and town, the nearest they had to television was a Bex and a good lie down. Suddenly it was there, and right out of thin air came Bruce Gingell in best bib and tucker, saying,
"Good evening, and welcome to television."
And boy, did we fall for that sucker. Television, not Bruce. The pictures were fuzzy and flickered. The screens were incredibly small. But as we stared into shops and squeezed into lounges, it was the greatest invention of all. Well, colour anyway. We bought TV sets by the millions. Our antennas grew higher and higher. We marvelled at Bob Menzies' eyebrows and Jack Davies' feud with Bob Dyer.
Take this down to forensic. They set off homicide.
While the freak and friends in Prisoner showed us life on the inside. Made us welcome, welcome, welcome in a display of togetherness. While hey, hey went on and 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 on, red-faced with their success.
I said hip hip, I said love, I said hip.
I said Magda. Fast forward was frequently funny. It made Pixie and a household name.
And Steve Vise had some serious money.
With us came the Outback. Skippy, there's a kid down the well. And poor old Charlie, cousins from Belford. He climbed up a great silo and fell. The soaps throw on disaster, delight and distress, drama and romance, and sex spells success. A starlet squeezing into her first wedding dress. Then a violent altercation prompts a shock revelation that the two star-crossed lovers are long-lost relations. Yuck, they kiss and everything. Switch on the box, and you switch on the sport. State of origin, 1, 2 and 3. There's tennis and cricket. There's even lawn bowl. Soon Atlanta, and then Sydney. Placement, Phoenix, Countdown, IMD, Against the Wind, Kingswood Country, The Box. Fantastic programs we all had for free. Now we pay for Optus and Fox. When a man hits 40 and starts to grow bald, gets a belly and grows hair in his ears, life begins now, he tells himself. Well, that part's true of the telly, my dears. While we've been transfixed by this old box of tricks, the future needn't fill us with fear. And if Ginger were home, he might well intone.
And welcome
To the next 40 years.
Welcome to a journey through 40 years of Australian television, with special appearances by Gene O'Reilly, Jim Owen, Mark Downey, Michael Beach, Margaret Pomerantz, John Hind, Amanda Keller, and joining us from Melbourne, Magda Szubanski. Here's your host for 40 years of television tonight, Mr. Garry McDonald.
Thank you. 40 years of Australian television. Or 32 years if you don't count commercials. It really is hard to believe, though, isn't it? I remember when the first person in my street bought a television. Every night, all of us local kids would crowd around outside the lounge room window just to see what television looked like. And, you know, I still love to watch television through other people's windows. And I tell the police that, but they just won't believe me. But it's true, from the moment I first saw television, you know, real, black and white, fuzzy focus television, well, I was hooked. And tonight is for all the millions of people who are hooked with me. Of course, we couldn't do real justice to 40 long years of television in just one glittering TV special. You'd need a whole TV series to do that. And if you want to lobby Channel 7 to do a series, I'd be really grateful for the work. Yeah, well, we've already got the set, and I could change my name to Garry Daddo if that'd help. Think about it anyway. But for now, tonight is a tribute to all the shows and all the people that have made TV so much a part of our lives over the last 40 years. And many of those people are in the studio with me tonight. Hold up your logies! Oh, come on, get them up. Don't be so shy. That's one logie. There's more than that. Look, old Bobby Lim's got his in a little bag so it doesn't get tarnished. Now, you can put them down again now. Thank you very much. Don't hold them on your lap so it looks ugly on camera. Especially for men. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to handle all this nostalgia and spectacle on my own, so helping me out in Melbourne is the also available for a series, Magda Szubanski. Let's join Magda.
I mean, of course I'm cheesed off about the fact I didn't get nominated for an Oscar, but, you know, that's just the way. Hi, Garry. Well, now, hasn't it been a glorious 40 years? Of course, I've only been around for about 21 of them, but I'm sure you'll make up for both of us. Now, this evening, I'm going to be taking everyone through the hallowed back passages of Channel 7 Melbourne to meet the people who make Australian television. And to help us celebrate tonight, I've invited along 100 or so of the most powerful people in Australian television. Interestingly, all of them seem to be called Kerry, except for the women, they're called Kerry Ann. Anyway, we're all set for a big night tonight, so back to you, Garry.
Yeah, thanks, Magda. That's the first time I've seen Magda let a man push her around. So let's start by going back to television's first faltering steps after Bruce Ginger welcomed us in 1956. Many of the early shows went out live to air. Now, remember, at this time, there was no such thing as videotape. The only way they had of recording those shows, those live shows, was to point a film camera at a TV screen. So what we have left is really only fragments of what was broadcast. And in some cases, that's probably not a bad thing.
Television is a new kind of radio broadcasting. You will have a set in your home with which you will see plays, variety shows, pageantry, sports, and various things as they occur in your own receiving set.
Hello there, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and children. This emblem that you've just seen is tonight the symbol of a historic occasion, the opening of the national television service.
This is ATN Channel 7 Sydney, bidding you welcome to the commencement of today's transmission.
I'm just human enough to have hoped you might have kept me in your mind for a few minutes, without letting it go to Meg after you hadn't seen me for 6 months.
I suppose it'll all work out. And sometimes I wonder how...
Oh,
Mark,
Julie,
darling,
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
What did you say?
Don't try to bully me as though I were one of your unfortunate seamen.
You understand this, young woman, once and for all. I absolutely forbid mention of the word bounty in this house. Is that clear?
And we've been waiting for television. By the end of the 50s, there were 500,000 television sets in use in Australia. And what had started as radio with pictures soon took on a life of its own.
There's gonna be some quaking and a whole lot of shaking. Everybody, it's 6 o'clock.
Tell you a story that happened a long time ago. Little bitty pretty one, I've been watching you grow.
Once again, from north, south, east and west, throughout the length and breadth of the Commonwealth, the latest reports in the popular song situation have rolled in.
Wake up, let Susie wake up. Wake up, let Susie wake up.
And then, if you're not happy with what you're seeing, you don't like it, or it just frankly bores you, put the switch to off.
No, don't touch that dial. I hate it when people give away trade secrets like that. As you heard there, a lot of our early actors had accents that would make Stuart Wagstaff sound like Kevin Bloody Wilson. And did you spot a very early version of Ross Higgins in that collection? Oh, there he is, there. Ross, of course, later went on to The Naked Vicar Show, and he was Ted Bullpit in Kingswood Country. And now, if you keep your eyes peeled tonight, you'll be able to spot a few other stars of the future in the background of some of those early broadcasts. I mean, look, there's Bert Newton, and Jan Ament, and Humphrey B. Bear, and Mr. Doobie, and Jason Donovan. But don't go anywhere, or you'll miss the really good bits that are coming up, like sex, sport, and song.
Oh, yes, but all that comes later. Next, you've got me and...
Soap.
I declare open the Olympic Games of Melbourne.
Take one fresh and tender kiss, and one stolen
I wish to appeal to everybody that is listening into this channel.
one girl.
If they could please come to the assistance of not only myself, but many, many others that are standing only in the clothing that they have on.
Well, that'll be the day when you say goodbye.
It is not our job to subtract from the true, clear independence of Milan. It is our simple job to help to establish it.
Goodness gracious, great balls of fire.
Have you anything original that you could sing overseas?
Yes, original and aboriginal. It's an aboriginal hunting song.
Catchy. I love a cappella opera hunting song crossover fusion. You know, even as a toddler, Australian television showed an early talent for two things: advertisements and quiz shows. Though in those days, the ads were a lot more subtle than the ones we have now. Sometimes you couldn't even tell where the ad ended and the show began.
It's Pressure Pack time and the Pressure Pack show. When people try to find out what you and I know, just imagine you're here in the studio with Pressure Pack Jack and his own style, versatile, make you smile. Pressure Pack Show.
To lead us from the funny to the fantastic, And to generally confuse the issue, here is Pressure Pack Jack Davies.
Hi-ho, everybody! Many of the early TV stars made the move to television from radio quiz shows. And when they made the move, they brought their buzzers with them.
Hello there. Welcome to Concentration. It's a brand new quiz show, a show which doesn't require any particular skill or knowledge on the part of the contestants other than the ability to memorize or concentrate, or both.
It's a tricky tongue twister. 4 pixies play rich witches. Got it?
Play rich. Play rich. Prince Gnomes. Witches. Got it all. You're marvellous. Thank you. You're marvellous.
Well, there are booby traps, of course. If a contestant matches 2 of the squares, which are booby traps, well then, certain things happen which we'll explain to you later. The winner, as I explained, keeps all the prizes which he has won, in addition to the big prize, but the loser doesn't keep any of the prizes which he won, but he does, however, win a consolation prize.
Tonight again, a Dulux show with a difference. Once more, the makers of Dulux paints bring you fresh, gay, Caribbean colors in Dulux One Coat Supermatte.
If he wants a clue, he can have one. But if he asks for a clue, he automatically loses the prize which he has won before. The last prize which he has won before asking for the clue.
Less complicated were the women's shows, though they were later made redundant by Valiant.
Almost any subject which you can think of, I think, is covered and presented especially for the ladies in the women's sessions every afternoon on television. This, of course, is the ladies' domain. And any man who happens to have viewed an afternoon session will, I think, agree that an almost encyclopedia of facts and information are presented to the ladies, your wives, as they sit at home for their entertainment and their enlightenment.
You open this end and the other end with one of those new tin openers, and then you just push the nut meat through.
You get a nice hard fresh cabbage and you want to use a little bit of side salad for chops or steaks or fish or anything that's greasy, and this neutralizes the acidity. It stops all that flatulence, and I'm not joking about this, I mean it, but look how beautifully that coleslaw is done.
Now, just a change of pace, a change of subject, back to our fashion. I know that every woman loves to see beautiful garments, and the copper look is going to be the fashion for next season. Here we have a copper-like material. It's made from lyrics, it's a man-made fibre, metallic fibre, and we see it made into a sleek swimsuit by Lorelei of Sydney. And it's a made-to-order suit for the daring girls.
What do you think about that daring copper look, Magda? Bit dangerous during a thunderstorm.
Well, not for a practical, safety-conscious girl like me, Garry, because you see, underneath this I'm wearing my non-conducting, all-in-one PVC bodysuit. But you know, Garry, television isn't all glitz and glamour, and behind the dream and the magic of television there lurks a very ugly reality. And to transform this kind of a beast into a beauty requires the hard work and dedication of thousands upon thousands of highly skilled technicians. Isn't that right, Chanel? My word, Lordy, yes. You know, Magda, when I was a little girl growing up on the Riverina, I never dreamed that my skill with a cement trowel would become my passport to the fascinating, glamorous world of television makeup. There are very few people on television, Magda, who haven't felt the sharp edge of my trowel. Over the years, I've spat-filled the best of them. Makes me cold, darling. I know all the secrets of the stars, Magda, so I have to exercise great interpersonal skills, tact and discretion. They know they can trust me totally, absolutely and completely, as will be revealed in my new book, Kiss and Makeup, The Ugly Truth About Australia's So-Called Stars. Needless to say, Magda, this extremely sensitive, strictly confidential inside information will also be used to develop my own brand of celebrity cosmetics, including a lipstick range created especially for my very, very, very dear friend, Kenneth Branagh, called Lips of String. Poor Kenneth. Lord Kenneth. No lips to speak of. No lips to speak from. Lips of String comes in a variety of colours, Magda, including brine brown and, of course, Belinda green. And you'll be pleased to know that I will be donating my entire collection of souvenir bikini line waxes to the new Planet Hollywood restaurant. So if you find a hair in your soup, don't send it back. Might have come out of a celebrity. Cheerio. Save one for you, Garry. Now, over the years, Australian feature films have become internationally renowned, as have our quality dramas. But the critics agree there is one art form at which we truly excel.
Hi, I'm Margaret Pomerantz from the SBS Movie Show. Art house European movies are all very well, but for sheer gut-wrenching, cutting-edge romantic storytelling, you can't beat a soap. I'm just waiting for my fellow reviewer John Hind of the ABC to get back from a guest spot on Home and Away.
Cool, Margaret. I'm totally stoked. What do you reckon my motivation is here? I know that Angel loves me, but I'm worried about this fist fight with Shane.
Understandable.
Indeed, it's just a boy. I'm afraid he might get hurt.
I insist on doing your own stunts.
The bewildering sequence of events that have turned my life from a quiet, sheltered stream into a racing torrent began when Mark arrived back from his overseas trip.
Don't remember me, do you?
What are you doing here?
Come for you.
So I was wondering if you'd like to go out with me.
Why don't we go and have a drink somewhere together?
Now, how about dinner, just between friends?
You're married, aren't you?
Not in any serious way?
Have you ever been with anyone else?
Sure. Well, there's only been a few, though. They didn't mean anything.
I think that's the most disgusting thing you've ever said to me.
Albano.
How about what, Grievous?
A root?
You know I'm still a virgin.
Through there. And hurry up, we've only got an hour.
No, it's no use. No, I can't.
Must you two make such a filthy racket?
What was that from?
I'd like you to marry me.
I want you to marry me.
Let's elope.
Yeah. This is going to be the best wedding ever. I just know it.
I'll drink to that.
This wedding's not going to happen, I just know it. I mean, how can you have a wedding without the bride and the groom?
Sorry, I can't go through with this.
Lucky idiot. Me too.
I'm glad to. You weigh a ton.
I'm having a baby.
Do you know who the father is?
It's you, Miles.
Do you like a brandy? Or a Colt 45?
Let's be sensible about
Darling, do stop worrying and get me another drink. It's a high school, not a wine bar.
I said, get me a bloody drink.
Do I look very pregnant?
I don't want my baby born in a prison. Keep your mind on something nice, dear. And the breathing, that's very important.
Say hello to your mum and dad.
You won't grow up to be a drunken whore like your mother.
This is between them two. Why don't you just pull your head in?
You want to try and make me...
Look, I want my freedom. I've been trying to tell you that for months.
I shouldn't have let it go this far. I should have trusted my instincts instead of fighting with myself. After what Bruce did to her last night, she tried to kill herself.
You know what happens to bad little boys.
No, Mother, I'm not going. It's scary in the wardrobe. It's dark. Be brave. I'm on my way.
Yeah, but I'm scared it might be too late because he's unconscious.
You know what I've dreamed about doing over and over again? Is getting a gun and blowing his twisted brains out.
Time to rock and roll.
I need a drink.
Oh, my God.
Get out! Everybody out! There's a bomb in the building!
What's that?
Can't hear anything?
Sorry about this, but I'd like to do a bit of ironing while I'm watching the soaps. I've only got a couple more shirts to do and then I'll be right with you. There just aren't enough hours in the day. Ow! Who turned the bloody iron on?
Holding you in my holding. Life is separated by.
Become a real cool Coles customer this summer. Wear cool embassy thongs from Coles.
Ford, Levi's, kangaroos, and Holden cars.
Football and meat pies, kangaroos and holding cars.
Mr. Bean, what do you think about this proposed increase for the federal parliamentarians?
Well, I think it's scandalous, the way they rise their salaries up and leave the old age pensioners to live on 7 days a week, £4.76. And at the present time, £4.76 don't keep the old pioneers. They're absolutely dying and malnutrition.
attitude to moderate drinking and gambling?
Well, I'm not here to talk about the national sins of Australia.
They asked me how I knew my true love was true.
Here to settle in Australia, and we hope to be happy all together, one big family.
Something here inside cannot be denied.
As far as you're concerned, have women got waists at the moment?
They have got waist at the moment, yes.
And how much leg have they got?
Oh, just about 2 inches of the kneecap.
In your eyes.
Obviously, waists and legs weren't the only issues of the 60s. Our whole way of life was being questioned, but there was one TV personality who seemed to have all the answers.
What have you got there, Skip? Why on earth would you kill this? All right, I know you didn't. And kill with a stick. Hasn't got anything to do with the school teachers, has it, Skip? Did they kill it? It didn't bite one of them, did it, Skip?
BP Australia presents Pick a Box.
Who was the first Governor-General, British Governor-General of India?
Now, there are two.
His name.
Two answers. Look, it could be either Canning or Mountbatten, because Canning was Governor-General of India in 1858, and Mountbatten was Governor-General of India in 1948. Now, it could be either of those two.
Listen. Nature is taking hold. Do you hear it? Oh, it's dramatic. There is music to my ears.
And you named them?
Earl Canning or Earl Mountbatten.
Mountbatten. And because the uncle of the present Duke of Edinburgh.
They dropped
the uncle of the present Duke.
I knew that.
I knew that. I just wanted to get that in, but I happen to know that.
You better pick a box.
Yeah.
Isn't that enchanting? Look at that. I am so delighted with this that I'm going to do it again.
Look on that nerve. I've only addressed branch meetings of the Housewives Association before. Mind you, television's marvellous, isn't it? It's such a lovely piece of furniture.
Watching television seemed to be second nature for Australians, but we didn't find it so easy when television started watching us.
Married women going to work, is that a good thing?
I'm not married myself, I wouldn't know.
Well, I think it's quite all right. I don't see that women should have to stay at home just because they're married and box themselves out.
Excuse me.
I really believe we should have an Australian Governor-General. And by that, I mean that.
Viceroy of India, if you recall. No, I don't recall. No, they were called viceroys right up until self-government was granted. When self-government was granted, India became a dominion, and the Governor-General of India was Mountbatten. He was the last viceroy and the first British Governor-General of India.
Did he have tiffin and chota pegs?
I wouldn't be at all surprised when then, when he retired, Sri Chakravarti Rajaja Palachari became the first Indian. Became the first Indian-born Governor-General of India. They just call him CR for short.
Also, I think when a man has asked you to marry him, and he's been unfortunate enough to have the accident, just reverse the situation and ask yourself, would you like it? Surely you can hang around a little bit longer. He's not going to remain unconscious forever and ever.
Sergeant Becker on parade. Personally, I think those boys up in Malaya, my dear, have got rather dreary exercises, don't you? So come on, boys, what about having a session? Really swinging it with Sue. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh, listen to that music. And swing it back. Forward, back, and 1, 2, 3, and point the toe. Swing it back.
This is a medical program produced with the approval of the Australian Medical Association, in which the advice given by the doctor, based upon the symptoms, is authentic.
Itching near one of the body's orifices is often a major inconvenience. But William Jenkins, whom I saw recently, had put up with this for 7 or 8 years before he'd reported about it. His condition was a very easily curable one.
Yes, Doctor.
Sister, ask the next patient to come in, please.
Mr. Jenkins.
Thank you, Sister. Hello, Mr. Jenkins. Sit down, will you? What's brought you to see me, Mr. Jenkins?
Well, Doctor, for a number of years now I've had a bit of trouble in the back passage.
That was ALP heavyweight Barry Jones on Pickerbox, proving that politicians won't give a straight answer to anything, even if you offer them fabulous prizes. Now let's take a look at a few of the precious things that television has given all of us.
TV isn't just about people, it's also about places. And as we watch our favourite shows, the places where they happen take on an almost spiritual significance. Indeed, many have become the sacred sites of Australian television.
Just to know
You are there. Of course, not all of the sacred sites are as easy to spot as this one. The home of Home and Away, a program beloved by Australians and secretly funded by the federal government as a way of keeping down youth unemployment.
Listen, I was wondering if there's any chance of picking up any shifts here.
But here at the kiosk?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, no worries.
How many hours a week could I be talking?
As many as you want. No, but there's one catch, though.
What's that?
You see, there's no money involved.
home and away.
You used to give me roses. I wish we could again.
This is still unmistakably Wentworth Detention Centre from Prisoner. It's not often a show like Prisoner comes along. In fact, today, the only way you can see characters with nicknames like The Freak, Vinegar Tits, Queen Bee and Rita the Beater is by tuning into Parliamentary Question Time. Russell Street Police Station, Melbourne. Where I'm standing, I can almost hear the homicide theme playing and Leonard Teal saying, VKC, this is Car 99. Of course, police work has changed a lot since homicide. These days, the people the Victorian police shoot at don't get a chance to shoot back. The house from GP. Through this gate has passed every disease known to science, every virus, every bacteria, every kind of wound, weeping sore and internal parasite. I hope they both bill. Touch me. And this humble block of inner city flats was once number 96. An entire generation of Australians got their sex education here. S&M, cross-dressing, homosexuality. Of course, we've come a long way since then. Today, we've got SBS.
Homosexual.
Surely any Australian looking for spiritual inspiration must come here. Sylvania Waters and the home of the Donahers. From the Donahers we learnt many important things. The importance of family, the importance of communication, and of course, the importance of bottle recycling.
Streets, Laurie, one of these days I'll pack me bloody bags and I'm going out of here.
This is it. Here I am. This is Ramsay Street, the home of neighbours. I can hardly believe that I'm standing in the very street that took Barry Crocker's voice to the world. I mean, this is where Craig McLachlan got his start. This is where Kylie learnt to strip a carburettor, where Bouncer got run over. This is Ramsay Street and Jason.
Hello? You all right? Hello?
Hello? Cheryl.
Will I get us a brandy?
No. She's from Channel 7. Let's get a bucket of water. Thanks, Amanda. Inspirational stuff. Personally, I've always thought that the Neighbours theme should be our national anthem.
Big butt. Nice girl, but what? But needs Odorona.
Helen and I work together. She's always so clean and fresh looking. But when she invited me home, I got such a shock. Their home smelt, well, stale. I wanted to pull the door wide open and get some fresh air.
Wake up, wake up, wake up. Let me help you wake up. Kellogg's rice bubbles, my dear. Snap, crackle, pop in your ear. We love you, Stanley. Your service is the best.
When you need more zip, just take my tip. Try Cadbury's new caramel whip. New caramel whip.
40
Nothing tugs at the heartstrings like an orphan baby, and Melvin at present is full of sympathy for an 8-month-old, 200-pound baby hippopotamus called Henrietta. Her mother, Esmeralda, has just died in tragic circumstances after swallowing a tennis ball.
Keep all the niggers out, Japs and everybody else. Well, we don't want them.
You consider your superior to the colored people?
No, I don't know about that, but I do know this. We had enough trouble to get into the Kanakas in Queensland.
I have a dream.
He said, walk like a man, talk like a man, walk like a man, my son.
The Equal Opportunities for Women Association had found the way, if not the right, to drink in public bars.
Well, I'm definitely against it.
Why?
Well, let's face it, bars I think were originally intended for men to drink at.
The 60s were obsessed with civil rights, but we almost lost the right to watch Australian-made television. In the 60s, homegrown television was dying because it was cheaper for the networks to buy English and American shows. At the time, I was going to meetings with other actors and TV makers to support the TV Make It Australian campaign. We were all trying to make sure that Australian television had a future. Yeah, and that we had jobs. And the campaign did get us the Australian Content Guidelines, which is just as well. Otherwise, we'd be watching endless reruns of MASH and The Brady Bunch and Are You Being Served?
We find the prisoner guilty, Your Honour.
No, that's not true. I only meant to find him. I only meant to find him.
Please, Jackson, if you do not go, I will.
You will what?
Please go.
You'll really have something to blub about soon, girl. I'm gonna get Hal Gillian for this. You got that into your pretty head? I'm gonna get him.
Gold in smoky quartz?
Yes. And it's the first time it's ever been found in smoky quartz.
Dozens of prospectors could have stumbled across this without realizing it.
And the few who did died.
He's a crank.
Would you be quiet?
Goes all around the country preaching.
You could use a little of it.
You don't pay any attention to her. She's just a fat little toad.
Bridegroom's given a false address. There is no Harbour Road at Heidelberg.
Ladies and gentlemen, the ABC Cut Budget Show presents Dragnet.
Guy's been murdered. Murdered? Sadly? Okay, Homer. Let's go. Murder. Dum-dum-dum-dum. How's that? Dum-dum-dum.
Now, what are you talking about, Dad?
Well, you may as well know. I have been discovered. Doing what?
I didn't know cows could fly.
Across now to the newsroom at Oz Magazine.
An Australian shoplifting gang which has stolen more than £300,000 worth of goods in Britain is believed to have a school of thieves in Sydney. Just another example of talented Australians who have to go overseas to make good.
You know, I used to have hair just like her. The Mavis Bramson Show was really the coming of age for Australian TV comedy. It was the thing that actually inspired me into getting into performing. But I wouldn't hold that against it. It was still great comedy. And over the last 40 years of television, one thing has become very clear. Australians take their comedy seriously.
Has anyone mentioned that it's 40 years of television? Has anyone mentioned that yet? Right, well, it's 40 years of television, just in case no one has. And I'm only 30, you see, so I missed the first 10 years. And I didn't come here until about 8 years ago, so I missed quite a bit anyway. But of comedy in Australian television, there's 5 big categories. And one of them is, it's quite a simple twist. See, like, you have women who wear frocks, right, but they just do a little twist in that, and they put men in frocks. Especially sporting people in frocks. Gets a big laugh every time.
You know, I've been a fan of extra for a long time. Not just because extra is sugar-free. And there's another good reason. Extra has a taste that really, really lasts.
Good evening, viewers.
Isn't this frock gorgeous? Eats your heart out, Crystal.
Well, you saw Priscilla, didn't you? It's good enough as you go. It's good enough for me.
What else is funny? There's lots of things that are funny, but in Australia, a classic expression is, if you can't laugh at yourself, who can you laugh at? Minorities?
Ah, what a pleasure it is to have you staying with us and borrowing my razor, even though you did leave the blades chocolate with little black wogs scraping.
Hands up, there's a stick up, give me the money. Hands up, there's a stick up, give me the money. Hands up, there's a stick up, give me the money. That's it. Both hands, this is an upstick.
Isn't it funny how life is, mate? She was the loser at school and you were the winner. Now, years later, her career has grown, her reputation has grown, her monies have grown, and the only thing that's grown for you is your eyebrows.
Another way to get a dead set laugh on Australian television, apart from doing this, is to get a person who's respected on television, a show that is respected, and then just rip it to shreds. Oh,
Could I speak to Kitty, please?
Just a second. Here, Kitty.
Kitty, here, Kitty. Here, Kitty. Here, Kitty.
Hello, Mummy.
Kitty, now
Hello,
look,
Kitty,
Mum,
darling.
I don't mind you. I don't mind you going out with a few of the fellas. You're 43 years old. They like the school uniform. But you have to go out with this riff-raff.
Peter, what's happening with these scripts? Nothing on the scripts yet, sir, but I've got bad news about our voices. They're being dubbed. What do you mean? Well, our lips are moving, but completely different words are coming out. Is that unusual? Well, yes, considering we're not on SBS.
Good evening and welcome to another night of marvellous viewing on SBS. Later on in Behind the Iron Curtain, recent advancements in productivity and working conditions in the die-mold casting section of the Blodbonk's tractor factory will be examined in a special 3-hour documentary. I'll certainly be waiting up for that one.
Hello, I'm Robert Gottliebson and I'm going to tell you about that big swell of tax. It's now time you get your tax form in quick, smart, and get your tax return. Tax return, that's what they call him, but tell you what, it won't return, never come back.
But what else gets a laugh from Australian people? Oh yeah, slapstick.
Love them when they're nice and ripe and juicy, squashed on your head, on your eye, in your eye and
And finally, very important in comedy is to get yourself a catchphrase, something that you can say over and over again and people recognize you for that. In the last 40 years, we've had quite a few of them.
Possums. You embarrassment.
You're soaking in it.
Oh, doesn't matter.
G-O-G-G-O.
Grandmother.
Oh, Victor, you are a very unattractive man.
That's right. So there we have it, 40 years of television and 40 years of laughter. Moses was in the desert for 40 years. He'd have missed all of that.
Moses could probably get to see it all on pay television. Hang on. What's happening? What are you doing?
Oh, sorry, Miss McDonald. I was just trying to avoid the flare off your ball.
You again?
Yeah, hi.
No, I know who you are. I just can't get rid of you, can I?
Mr. Francis, I think Mr. McDonald's having another one of his turns.
Well, I just want to know why you keep following me around all the time.
Yeah, well, I'm supposed to, aren't I? I'm a cameraman.
All right, Mr. Francis.
Mr. McDonald, the director says it's time to throw to a break.
I know it's time to throw to a break.
Yeah.
I can do it for you if you like. Hi, it's Norman Gusson. We'll be right back. Don't. We'll be right back with more 40 years of television. And at least one new cameraman.
$1 equals exactly 10 shillings. In $1 there are 100 cents. 10 cents in one single shilling. And 5 cents equals 6 pence.
See, Grant? Even a little old lady can get with dollars and cents.
I feel very proud that my son is marching today and the communists must be stopped in Vietnam.
Do you like the idea of 20-year-olds going overseas?
20, 18, and 19, yes, in they go.
There must be some kind of way out of here, said a joker to the thief. There's too much confusion.
We have just about given up ourselves, our hopes. I think our last hopes have drained away.
One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Come and see the real thing, come and see the real thing.
These scenes were filmed in Melbourne, Australia, last year.
Reactions are, I've got that top feeling up in my head, deep in my heart, down in my toes. I've got that top feeling all over me, to stay, and we just sing that the whole time.
Everybody, I've got that top feeling up in my head. Sing along. Deep in my heart, down in my toes. I can't hear you. I've got that top feeling all over me. All the newsreaders, all over me to stay. I've got that. Oh, no, you're right. It's not one of Andrew Lloyd Webber's better songs. But, you know, when we got that clip out of the vaults, it was just as crispy and fresh as the day they put it in there. What about you, Magda? Are you joining in the Tupperware song?
No, Gary, not really, no. But I do have some exciting news. As you know, Channel 7 is the official Olympic network. And when you've paid $176 million, you want to make sure you're getting the best people in the business to run the show. Now, we've got the dream team of sports coverage, headed up by a woman who needs no introduction to serious sports fans. Hello, Magnus. No, there's no need to introduce me because everyone knows me. But for all of you who don't, I am Pixie Ann Wheatley, the accurate one. I'll be keeping you up to date with informed, authoritative stuff about sporty-type things. Now to the golf. Shane Warne took a wicket. Play was resumed when he gave it back. Victoria got 2 wickets for 265, which is quite expensive, and Ricky was punting his googlies, went for a sixer in slips, and the score was 6 for 696 before teeing off at the 3rd in the 4th at Randwick. Finally, the swimmering, making a comeback, our very own Lisa Cunny Carey from all of us here at 7 Sport. Good luck, Ken! Oh, so it's all go here at the sporting place and there's no restroom for the wicket. As soon as we finish covering the Atlantic Olympics, we start planning for the 2000 Olympics, whenever that might be. So for the best in sports reporting, be sure to tune in to me, Pixie Ann Wheatley, the accurate one.
Here's the change between Matthews and Cuthbert. And they head up behind with the German girl on the outside, still holding the advantage. But Betty Cuthbert running on strongly and gets past her and coming up towards the line. And Betty Cuthbert going to the line to win it from Germany. Third place is probably going to win.
Here's Shane Gill. It's 4:15. It must be a world record. 4:16, 4:17, 4:18, 4:18 plus a world record.
And this is the response of a champion. Let's count him in. Over the last 10 metres, Perkins driving home for Australia.
It's a dream come true.
It's the proudest moment I've ever experienced in cricket, and it's just a hell of a feeling.
He puts the icing on the Queensland cake. Oh! That he is. He's done the impossible. They couldn't win a game, let alone a series a few weeks ago.
And in fact, we still have Miss Australia with us in Leanne Cock and Leanne Dick. Can you believe this? I have been accused of being sexist. Now, you couldn't believe that, could you?
No way.
What do you reckon? Can you believe that?
I watch the footy show every Thursday night and I believe it.
Is that right? Well, look, thank you very much for speaking us. What a magnificent breast you've got too, madam.
Wolf's got him. He's wrapped himself around him. Oh, he's cocky, this Wolf man. David's let go and Wolf's down. Oh, the crowd love it.
I'm not a bad sport. I'm not a bad sport. I will shake his hand.
Losers. That's an understatement, David. Can you believe this place?
Advantage Moonwoods. Well, that bracket sounded like it cracked.
It's not broken. Broken's when you can't play with it. You want to look at it? Point with it. Let's play.
Let's play. Code violation, verbal abuse, default, Mr. McEnroe.
Whoa!
Hugging his dad, sister.
What a great he's got it! He's got it! Australia's taken it! The first ever Grand Prix has gone to Wayne Gardner! They're about to cross the line. They make a final move.
we're contacting the Prime Minister of Australia, Paul Keating, to contact the US Navy to see whether we can salvage the boat.
Well, that one went down faster than the Labor Party on election night. Now, I think the only way to neutralise all that blokey testosterone is with a small dose of TV variety.
Have you had much reaction from Australia?
Oh yes, incredible. I've had phone calls all night. They haven't stopped all night, and apparently it's all over the newspapers and on the news.
When I was a little boy, when I was just a boy, the devil called my name. When I was just a boy, I say now, who do you think you're fooling?
And a very, very serious threat is posed to the eventual survival of the Great Barrier Reef.
What was it like in Darwin?
Oh, you just couldn't describe it. You honestly couldn't. Even the papers in Brisbane, the photos, they just didn't look anything like it. Honestly.
So you're happy to be back with your loved ones?
I tell you, I don't know how anybody got out of it. I really don't. The place is just completely demolished.
I shall resign the presidency effective at noon tomorrow.
But I can remember in Sydney people getting out of their cars to come and walk around me and say, "What you wearing red stockings for? What do you think you look like? Why are you trying to get attention?"
Some women in women's lib don't shave their armpits. Is this important?
No, not really.
It is important if they use your razor. In the early 70s, Australian television began broadcasting with microwaves. And maybe that's why our program started getting noticeably hotter. Or maybe the fact that television was now a teenager had something to do with it. Those hormones were certainly raging through prime time. So please be warned that the next segment may contain material offensive to some viewers. And I'm not referring to the bit with Rolf Harris.
Tonight, Australia has taken a giant step forward in the field of communications with the opening of the microwave system across the Nullarbor. In simple terms, it means that television programs originating on one side of the continent can be screened simultaneously on the other side.
Fantastic size this place is. You don't really get any idea of scale looking at it because there's nothing to compare it with, but you saw that man walking along the top there.
Hi there, I'm Norman Gunson, and I'd like to tell you about an exciting new holiday idea from Echidna Tours, a 150-day study tour of North Coast drive-ins.
Just moved in around here, have you?
Yeah, Pad just up the street.
That's nice. We might be seeing a bit more of you then, eh?
You come out of there, you hussy. You come out from underneath my bed, do you hear me?
Oh, please.
Oh! Herbert Evans?
I don't like being raped. Not even by my own husband.
We might have been striking out into unknown territory, but we still wanted to look good while we did it.
Free and natural, modern girl, likes to feel natural, likes to live free. No tacky lacquer on hair teased to chaff, no heavy makeup that cracks when you laugh.
You may well ask, what does the Australian Olympic team have to do with professional hairdressing? The answer? New Olympic Permanent Wave Herbal Formula.
Even Dolly Dyer tried makeovers, but Pickerbox still bit the dust. What viewers wanted was a whole new dimension in game shows.
If you put $4 on the red, $3 on the green, and $2 on the yellow, you would have 3 on a match. And here is the host of Australia's first colour game show, Bob Moore.
Thank you very much. Of course, the problem was our first colour game show was in black and white. But it wouldn't be long before outfits like these could be appreciated in their full glory. Though not everyone was happy about it.
My Arthur and I would like to warn you that the whole world has been gobbled up by the terrible colour television monster. I'll try and hold it down. There it is.
Come on in, it's lovely! Hey, look at me, I'm in colour! Come on in, it's lovely!
Farewell, black and white. We saw you leave tonight.
And remember, all you kiddies, don't you watch colour jokes on black and white television, because if you do, I'm going to jump through your sets and rip your bloody pink arms off. And I will too.
Colour had arrived. Taste was yet to follow.
I'm Johnny Farnham, and this is Countdown. The first edition for 1975 in glorious colour. Throughout the year, we're going to bring you the most exciting people in Australia. Let's kick it off right now with one of Australia's fastest rising groups, Skyhooks.
You watch a horror movie right there on my TV. Horror movie right there on my TV.
National offers you so much more in colour television. These are National's new UHF VHF Type 22 sets, both beautifully presented in stylish furniture cabinets.
Would you like one?
Yes, please. I have to congratulate you not on your complete invention, which is the mountain, but would you tell your technical ladies, your wife and your daughter-in-law, they have exquisite taste in colour.
They didn't tell me before I got dressed that I would be with the blue.
You're overdressed.
I clash.
Hello, Nolene.
Hello, darling.
Or as we say, g'day, knockers.
All right.
But no matter how colourful things got, there were still a few images that couldn't help but shock us.
I thought I recognised that voice.
What the hell are you doing here?
Same as you. Having a massage.
Big job. I hope she gets overtime. And what about that yellow T-shirt I was wearing? Makes the frocks and Priscilla look like something you'd wear to a job interview for the National Party. But amid all the colour, television did have a dark side. Like this story of a sad and lonely addiction.
Hi, I'm Gina Riley. And all right, I admit it. I'm a variety TV junkie. It all started when I was a kid. Play school and Mr. Squiggle were enough for my friends, but I needed more. I needed sequins. I needed lycra flares. I needed TV variety. At first it seemed innocent enough, an opening number from Don Lane, a Tony Bartuccio jazz ballet interpretation of the moon landing, but soon I couldn't stop. It was Mike Walsh during the day, Don and Bert at night, Daryl on the weekends, the Saturday show, variety Italian style, Des O'Connor, Val Dunick, and I had lost all sense of reason. I just wanted to be part of it.
From the television centre of Australia, the young show with the big sound.
And the faces, all aglow, glow, glow of the people who are in the show. Happiness is Colin Conner, Bill McGraw. Happiness is
Gina Riley.
This broadcast comes from our studios at Gore Hill. Jim Gussie and the ABC Dance Orchestra bring to you the 8 top popular tunes in
Your Hit Parade.
Ladies and gentlemen, it seems that during 1964, guitars are, as they were during 1963, going to be the big thing.
Guitars come through the wall. Guitars sticking on the corner. Guitars wailing down the hall.
Oh, boy, I'm lucky. I'll say I'm lucky. This is my lucky day.
You can tell the mailman not to call. I ain't coming home until the fall, and I might not get back home at all. Lulu's back in town.
Gotta get my old tuxedo pressed.
So come on!
Yeah, come on! Yeah, come on! Yeah, come on! Yeah, come on! Yeah, come on! In the cry, baby!
I'm gonna run, boy, fast as I can, cause I wanna get away from the funny old man with the big black hat, with the big black brim.
With a big black hat with a big black brim.
And a black striped band.
And a black striped band.
A pair of dark glasses on his snout.
A pair of dark glasses on his snout. And a false moustache.
And a pale pink sunshade held up high.
And a pale pink sunshade held up high.
And that's not all!
And that's not all.
I feel pretty and bright, and I
tonight. All my love belongs to you, as long as I may live. There'll never be anyone else but you for me.
Heard the Lord, he spoke to me. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Told about a man from Galilee. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. It was fascination, I know.
Fascinating. Let's move on to the sophisticated 70s. Colour, movement, and lapels that could take your eye out.
There was blood in a single gunshot, but just who shot who? Bang at the Copa, Cabana.
He used to give me roses.
Buffalo girls, won't you come out tonight? Won't you come out tonight? Won't you come out tonight? You're pretty girl. It's like a melody.
What a setup! Holy cow! They'd never believe it if my friends could see me now!
Freak out!
You'll swear you've heard it before as it slowly rambles on and on.
In my arms when I want you, and all your charms whenever I want you. All I have to do is
dream. Anytime, night or day, the big production number is the highlight of every variety show, and this one is no exception. So fasten your seatbelts. It's Carrie Ann! Just once in a lifetime, a girl knows a moment, one wonderful moment, when fate takes her hand, and this is my moment. Hello, Australia, my once in a lifetime, when I can explore a new and exciting land. 1, 2, 3, 4, for once in my lifetime, I feel like a giant. I soar like an eagle, as though I had wings. Oh, this is my moment. My destiny calls me, and though it may be just once in a lifetime, I'm gonna do great
Well, may we say, God save the Queen. Because nothing will save the Governor-General.
And you're done with me.
If it's the 8 o'clock train from Parramatta, she's on it because they've rang from work and she's not at work.
Does she normally catch that train?
Yes. Straight away I got in the car and came down.
I used to go on street marches in the 70s, carrying the banners, railing against the establishment. Only during the non-ratings period, of course, when there's nothing to watch on television. You know, the great thing about 70s television was they really knew how to make a star look like a star.
From the studios of HSV7 Melbourne, the biggest and most lavish special ever produced in Australia, the Barry Crocker Comedy Hour. Shoot yourself up from the middle of the floor.
I still feel the warmth of your morning kiss. I need you right now.
I love Mickey Mouse, and Donald Duck sure blows my mind. And a guy as smart as Elmer Fudd is very hard to find. Sing it, boy.
I'll be with you to change any of mind. One day in May, I'll come and say.
But it wasn't just grabbing a mic and warbling a tune. Image was everything.
Felicity, love, little more fear, more vulnerable.
Well, is my expression all right?
Just beautiful.
And if you really wanted to be a superstar, nothing helped more than Johnny Young's seal of approval.
That's a fun number, isn't it? Dancing on a Saturday night. Tiny Tina Arena, and I reckon she's going to be a real groovy pop star when she grows up.
Or a roll around Molly's casting couch. While others just hoped the aura of superstardom would rub off on them.
Are you going to the party afterwards?
Are you going to the party?
I wouldn't mind. Is it invitation only or BYO Marumba? Mr. Warwick, Mr. Stanley Warwick, the woman who sang. Mr. Barry Gibb, isn't it? Yes, it is, sir.
And when international celebrities dropped in for a visit, their Australian support players sometimes stole the show.
He's 70. She's only a youngster in comparison to you. And the truck went around the corner, and the big door slid open, and she just fell out on the road.
And that is how to get the drinks. They're perfectly chilled.
If ever I see Eddie Fisher, I'll kill him.
I tried.
Once stolen, the show stayed stolen. And the support players turned their attention to changing the course of Australian history.
What I want to know is this an affront to the Constitution of this country? Or was it just a stroke of good luck for Mr. Fraser?
Thanks very much. Just wanted to know. And when one of our own made it big, we love to put them up on a pedestal.
This is your right.
I want to give you a big, enormous kiss from my bottom of the heart. From the bottom of my heart.
Though this sort of thing should really be left in the hands of the experts.
Well, I think you better come and show yourself, love. Here's years from out of your past, mate.
I've never been so embarrassed. It's Gail. Don't you... Frank, where are you?
Gail, sit down, mate. It's been a long time. 13 years is a long time, love.
That's my girl you just embarrassed in front of millions of people. You said she was almost engaged to this bloke.
We're going to wear live.
I don't care. Keep your bloody hands off me.
Get him off. Go to commercial. Can you read that out, please, John?
For the benefit of the sports fans out there, we'd like to show you the knockdown once again on the video disc.
Good evening. Here is the news.
It's Channel 7, the place to be. It's Colour 7, and 7's a very nice place for you to be. You'll get the feeling, you'll find the way. Just try the signs, it's time to colour your world every single day.
Roger. If only you'd coughed up for the money, we wouldn't have had to show that. Maybe you'll take us more seriously next time. Though, Magda, it is nice to see the lighter side of a respected news broadcaster, isn't it?
I don't think news is a laughing matter, actually, Gary. In fact, we take our news and current affairs very seriously here. And this year we've managed to sign up one of the most highly respected women in television journalism.
Thanks for joining us. Well, my kind of work involves a lot of stress. In fact, every third word I say is stressed. So after a hard day at the studio, I love to shrug off my cold, analytical persona and reveal this. The real, warm, lovable, and slightly girlish me. And what do I do to relax? I watch television current affairs.
I stand here with my back to Cambridge Gulf and the waters of the Timor Sea. I'm very much closer to the land masses of Asia than I am to you in any of Australia's capital cities.
Most of the criticism of it that I've ever heard doesn't come from these Oriental countries. It comes from wandering Australians.
For these views, of course, in the past, Sir Robert, you have been described as a racist.
Have I?
I have read this, yes.
Well, if I were not described as a racist, I'd be the only public man who hasn't been.
In Anne Devison's programme, you'll be meeting a lot of poor people, and they probably won't impress you very much. They look fat enough on film, they look shabby but respectable in their cast-offs, and even their homes look quite pleasant when they're lit by our bright lights and softened by film. But we couldn't bring you the smell, the sour, sick smell of degradation and humiliation that the poor carry with them wherever they go.
And up here, as I told you, I was in bed and it fell down on me up there. It's disgusting. I'm ashamed for people to come into the place. I'm ashamed.
Mrs. Wiley's landlord is the Church of England, one of the biggest landlords in Sydney.
But homosexual practice is a crime in our society. Many people react to it with great repugnance. It was put to Bonsall that he might be courting prosecution by appearing in checkerboard.
I could be prosecuted for, say, the physical activity in which Peter and I indulge. Even the fact that we like to hold hands in the street and that we may kiss each other, even just in passing.
These are the Australian diggers of 1966. How do they feel about the war and the demonstrations at home against Australia playing a part in it?
Well, personally, I reckon they should be ashamed to call themselves Australians. Because, well, heck, once they take over Southeast Asia, what's next on their list?
This little girl with her beautiful eyes, she saw me with a camera and she just stared. And tears are pouring down my face trying to film, but I knew this shot is worth 1,000,000 words. And I believe that shot changed people's minds of what was going on in Vietnam.
Hear what Gough Whitlam has to say.
There can be the trap if one's too confident.
Get the ring of confidence with New Parliament. New Parliament with double dissolution fights bad breath and keeps your teeth laughing clean.
Mr. Gallagher, your union is a violent union. Can Mr. Crabb and Mr. Kane...
I reject that. I reject that, and if you continue along that line, this will be the end of the program.
Well, Mr. Gallagher, I just...
You be very careful.
Mr. Gallagher, I just refer you to today's vision.
No more, all right? He's blacklisted like his brother, all right?
I'm ordering you out of the shop.
You're from the Willisey show.
I'm from the Willisey show.
You just nick off.
I'm Ian Leslie. I'm George Negus.
I'm Ray Martin. Those stories and more tonight on 60 Minutes.
I'm proud of my country. It can do a great deal better than it is doing. I believe it will do better, and my policies will be shown to be right.
But why do these Britons say this to us? Is it possible that you just won't give an inch? That Margaret Thatcher needs to be right all the time?
Why don't you ask them? And why won't you tell me their names and who they are?
Jana, you know very well that you've got your foot on the sticky paper. You're trying to make the most of it, to make your sort of reputation and name and get people to look at it. But then I wouldn't expect anything else from you, Jana, by your record, as I've seen it recently.
To Brisbane and Mr. Bob Hawke. Mr. Hawke, could I ask you whether you feel a little embarrassed tonight at the blood that's on your hands?
You're not improving, are you? I thought you'd make a better start to the year than that. It's a ridiculous question, you know it's ridiculous. I have no blood on my hands. I was not involved in the discussions that Bill Hayden's fellow leaders had with him. I hope the standard of your questioning improves.
Well, what did you think of that interview?
Much better.
It wasn't dull?
No, I don't think it was.
It was better to move on a bit, was it?
In keeping with the shorter answers and better attempt to answer the questions, definitely.
Well, let's keep it that way.
It hasn't been a good year for New Zealand and her allies. Thanks for joining us.
Auckland Harbour in nuclear-free New Zealand is about as far from a war zone as you can possibly get. It was such an unexpected crime, such an unlikely act of terrorism, it's still difficult to believe it really happened.
You're an innocent man?
Innocent.
Never murdered anybody?
Never. Never even attempted to.
Never tried to?
Never attempted to.
If you wanted to, could you?
Could you?
I was going to do a Tom Dominican joke here, but I don't think I will.
When we saw the spots of blood in the tent, as we looked, we realised it must have been a very quick event. And this morning, when we saw on the blanket the sharp, jagged marks in that very thickly woven blanket, we knew that that was a powerful beast in the sharp teeth.
And I just yelled. There wasn't time to go and tell people. I just yelled out, has anyone got a torch? The dingo's got my baby.
Watching my house burn down. I'm sitting out on the road in front of my own house where I've lived for 13 or 14 years. The roof is falling and it's in flames and there's nothing I can do about it. Absolutely nothing.
Liberty and its crew put up a great effort, and we were just the better yacht on the day. I take nothing from them. Thank you, Mr. President.
I tell you what, any boss who sacks anyone for not turning up the day is a bum.
Shaking hands with Ronald Reagan is probably one of the few things from the 80s that Alan Bond can actually remember. The 80s wasn't all about making money from flash and dazzle. In television, there were moments of real introspection and the search for an Australian identity. I mean, you could make a fortune out of that if you did it with enough flash and dazzle. I wish they'd stop rotating this thing.
Which article of clothing does a Cockney call his dirty dickie?
No, totally.
Let me put that another way. In rhyming slang, what does a Cockney call his dickie dirt? Brian.
Shirt?
His shirt is right. Brian fights back.
Naturally, we became more interested in matters closer to home. And we began to feel ourselves changing.
They call it Australian rules, but where are the Australians today when the modern heroes have names like Kekovich, Schimmelbusch, Barassi and Jezelenko? Somewhere up there, I wonder what the most famous footballer of all time, Roy Kazali, would think about it all. But then again, what sort of name's Kazali, anyway?
Australia is a nation of people of the world.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to Multicultural Television.
With SBS providing a new outlook, we re-examine the more traditional images of Australia by heading bush.
It's the country people. They're a lot of fun. They don't worry about what you look like, how you act or whatever. You just drink and you have fun and everyone dances and no one really cares, you know. It's great.
Others look to our native people for inspiration.
The mind boggles when you think how much longer they have been here than us. They arrived over 30,000 years ago. I've only been here since about 1130.
Aboriginal people have taught me a lot. They've been pretty generous with their knowledge, and I'm grateful for that. So in the midday heat, you can cool off for half an hour or so and just wait for the results.
As a nation, we were now willing to think about the big issues, as long as it didn't interfere with our TV viewing, which is why they invented the mini-series.
Promise me one thing. Anything. When they make the TV mini-series...
Yes, mate.
Don't let Brian Brown play me.
Right, I think it's late enough for us to show some rude bits. Because by now it must be way past Mum and Dad's bedtime, so you kids can watch this without getting embarrassed.
Thanks for joining me. I'm here with Dr. Kelvin Cunnington, Professor of Media Studies at Monash University. Professor, you've researched 40 years of television romance. Was it hard? After all this time on the job, are you getting any better at putting your finger on what Australians like to turn on? Professor, you've been coming and going from various TV stations in order to probe, poke, expose and generally lift the skirts of Australian romantic television. Kelvin, show us your naughty bits.
Sex is an awful, horrible business.
The reproductive organs. Good girls. They're the very special parts of our body we've been learning about tonight. There are some people who want to have a poke at them.
That must be a crooked calling it clock.
Don't get too tight.
If it's the last thing I do. Oh, not that! Oh, no!
Now listen, you.
You can do anything you want. Do you want my life? My body?
That's lovely.
Oh, anything! I love you. Sir?
I bet you say that to all your teachers.
You sure you want to do this?
Yeah.
They are kissing lips. Share it around.
Yeah, I don't get it. How can anyone run so bloody hot and cold?
Was I right, Vicky?
Beautiful.
If there was a competition between Nadia and Joan Collins for being the biggest bitch, I think Nadia would win.
Celibacy isn't necessarily the awful burden that some people imagine.
It's not natural, Ken. When a man and a woman love each other, well, how can they go on without...
Romance, eh? You want romance?
What's the matter with you, anyway?
Nothing's the matter.
I'm not a boy, I'm a man, and I want what other men want.
Come here. One petite chair. One little cabbage.
Done some terrific research lately. I'll lend you a book about the female orgasm.
What? The best advice I can give you, darling, is to leave the telly on, read a magazine, let him do his business, and then just try and put it behind you.
It's great living in an era when sex can be so openly discussed, isn't it? Though I think Lynn and my wife must be reading the same magazines.
I've decided to resign as Premier.
How would you describe Halley's Comet this week?
Oh, a little bit of a con, I think. Huh? Kondoa. Very good food in my heart. Oh.
I couldn't have put it better myself. Halley's Comet might have been a bit of a fizzer, but sometimes it's hard to predict which stars are going to light up the sky, or when they'll first be noticed. It started for two kids called Minogue and Donovan when they put on a show for the Jet Set in the Melbourne airport.
Wanna pet him? Go on.
Well...
Oh, you little devil. Oh, now show your mouse.
I think we've had enough animals for one day.
Now, from the top of the hit parade, here's Danielle Minogue and the team and that really cute song called Bop Girl.
Meanwhile, Johnny Young's stud farm for future superstars was getting results with another Minogue. In fact, it seemed that every kid in Australia had stars in their eyes.
Handing her music over. What's your name?
Kim Wilson.
Kim Wilson. What do you do, Kim?
I sing and dance.
Do you?
I try to.
And while Kim was holding out for a hero, Kylie and Jason were back together, working on a plan for world domination.
I mean, who wants to be famous? It's all just a lot of hype.
Yeah. And it breaks up friendships too. Well, look at me and Jane.
I mean, it doesn't last either. I probably would have made one payment on the Porsche and that'll be it.
Yeah.
Would be nice though.
And it was. As Neighbours led the charge of Australian soaps grabbing headlines around the world. But while everyone wanted to be like Kylie, Jason or Craig, they looked up to someone a lot closer to home.
When the band plays, he grooves. Funny, his hair, it never moves. That makes a bloke wonder if it's real. Yeah, it's time for Ray.
Just when it looked like Ray and the singing soap stars had a stranglehold on the nation's affection, a kid cruised along with Hollywood written all over her.
Yeah, so what are you gawking at, eh?
We believe that it is a brutal war. It's not Australia's war, and it's not America's war either.
Not to be outdone, the Neighbours kids took the issue further.
Well, war is bad, and war is sad, and we need to be close to each other like sister and brother, like father and mother.
And with the UN taken care of, it was left to Kylie and the gang to take Australia's message to the Empire.
The cast of Neighbours.
That's when good neighbours become good friends. That's when good neighbours become good
Well, that set the Republican movement back about 40 years. Now let's rejoin the undisputed Queen of Melbourne, Magda Szubanski.
Thanks, Garry. Well, as you can see, television is a medium absolutely bursting with original ideas. But where do these ideas come from? Well, the answer is they come from everywhere, and they arrive on everything from the back of a cigarette packet to a professionally presented script. Or, in this case, some enterprising producer has actually sent us a video. This is from a company called Geelong Public Library. Do not remove. Let's take a look at it anyway. And roll tape. Rolling.
Right, well, me and Ferret have recently been found in possession of some audio-visual equipment. So we thought that we'd send you this tape because we've got some ideas that we reckon would make really great TV shows. It's kind of like a cross between a holiday show and a motoring show called Getaway Car. This is a great one. This is a really good idea, this one. It's like a supernatural sci-fi kind of a thing about hallucinating when you're pissed, called 4X Files. And Ferret actually he wants to do his own chat show called Talk to the Animal. Well, anyway, look, if you'll excuse us, it's time for us to resist arrest and proceed in a northerly direction, so we'll check you later. Hey, Ferret, get the rest of that stuff on the back of the truck, mate.
And that, gentle viewer, is probably how Richard Zachariah and Maggie Tabra started out. Next, we're going to take you into the 1990s, but in the meantime, let's crack open a tinny. And roll VTR2.
His luck, his cheers, his two great beers.
If she's a girl who knows how to catch trouts, if she's a girl who knows the way things work out, if she picks her gear as she picks her beer, she's the girl who asks for abbots. Not too flamin' heavy or too light. The big, big beer. Gold top. It's a beauty.
What if some nation decided to do the same thing to Australia that Iraq did to Kuwait? What would we say about it? Oh, we should lay down and cop it sweet and ask the rest of the world to cop that and let it happen? What damn nonsense.
Keep it going, keep it going.
You're so unbelievable.
She's one goal for Australia.
Arthur can't find out we just lost Saudi Arabia. That's not an encouraging sign.
There goes a patriot. Let's go.
You have won the hearts and minds of the Cambodian people because of your performance as human beings.
When we release our domestic violence policy, the things that batter.
The chills that you spill up my back keep me filled with
Nobody touches the Queen, not even her husband.
satisfaction of what's fun.
The Four Corners programme obtained the unpublished parts of the squidgy tapes, alleging that, until now, they'd been covered up by the British establishment.
A bit familiar, it's not very consistent.
Might just do this next bit sitting down. Those Royals are really good at phone sex, aren't they? Anyway, 1988 was the bicentennial when Australians were united in the greatest outpouring of raw nationalistic pride since Ray Martin won his first gold logie. It also meant that Channel 7 could produce the most spectacular station logo the country had ever seen.
Australia's got a big one. Each man, each boy, each girl.
And in the sweep of bicentennial fever, everything in Australia had to be big. From big parades...
Great afternoon here in Adelaide. Well, I better get out of the way because I think the horses are on their way through King William Street.
to big toads.
This one's called Bob Hawke. Andrew, you organised this thing today. Tell us a little bit about it.
Oh, well, this is a dinkum Aussie sport of toad racing.
And big environmental disasters.
Looks harmless enough, a bit like road bitumen. But if you get it on your body, you'll get some very nasty burns.
Tonight, we're devoting the whole program to the greenhouse effect.
It didn't matter, as long as it was big.
We could dice a big apple, make big banana flips, choose the big orange, bake big potato chips.
We wanted big good guys.
Mickey! Mickey!
Hang on! Big bad guys.
We need some convicts. Darren Hinch, you're the obvious choice.
And big family fun.
You are the biggest troublemaker I've met in my lifetime.
2 very highly strung celebrity teams, 2 very anxious families, and 1 Subaru motorcar.
Whatever happened to Vauxhall and Morris?
They got zapped by the Japs.
They were nice guys.
So's a Volvo. I'll take you for a drive and show you.
Oh, I might like to have a go myself.
You can't drive.
Oh, I've watched people. It can't be that difficult.
And when it came to comedy, how did we want it? You guessed it, big.
The ratings on this show have been going through the roof. Last week, nearly 3 million people watched The Big Gig. This is too many. There is no audience control here. There is no audience control. We've decided to implement some of our own. For a start, any ugly people watching, please just turn off right now.
Television was getting a bit pushy, and people started asking themselves what it could do for them.
Have you always wanted to be on the box? Join the television industry. Become a cameraman and record people's personal tragedies for posterity.
University tests, I don't know if you know,
I know.
have almost conclusively proven that commercial television can sometimes, in certain ways, be totally carcinogenic.
You know, as I sit before you now, I think I have a feeling of responsibility to you, even though I do not know all of you. I know some of you, but I do not know all of you.
Will the average person have a say on your stations?
No.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, bitch.
A revolution was at hand. We learnt the downside of camcorders.
Anything can go wrong, and we're usually there when it does.
Taught ourselves about the tools of the trade.
Encyclopedia Britannica. The complete works of Shakespeare. Check. The Bible. Tony Barber. Check.
And became our own TV shows.
What's better than a car alarm? My best friend.
But it was leading to one inevitable conclusion.
Get into television. It's the people's medium for medium people.
I'm sure they mean that in the nicest possible way.
Who are you holding there at this moment?
We've got the 2 children with us. They're safe and they will be handed over as soon as the female police constable arrives.
So the children are safe?
They're safe, they're safe. You'll see it all on Derby News tonight.
Why did you kill the other people?
Well, I had to have transport, didn't I?
That's all.
That's all.
People were up on the roof shooting outside and just people were falling. Little girl got stabbed in the back.
The city makes you pay, thinking about tomorrow.
Then the gunman opens fire.
This is premeditated. This is attempted murder of the first degree.
Better get a lawyer, son.
Lorena Lenore Bobbitt, not guilty.
Owen Balding.
Not guilty.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Can't let you up there. It's okay. Hey, pull back!
Have reached a peace agreement to end the war in Bosnia.
The winner is Cindy.
You don't often see a politician jump up that quickly, do you? Not unless Rupert Murdoch walks in the room, anyway. So here we are in the 90s, where imitation is the sincerest form of comedy.
Well, then, under a hunch, Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. Why did 2 children have to go up a hill to get water to drink? I'll tell you why. Because the mains water supply was polluted by illegal dumpers that I've named in a sludge file.
I've got a 3-up shotgun right through him.
Wait a second, am I on camera all the time? Is this the one? Am I on camera? Hey, wait a second, now! Go. Well, just a few moments ago, I managed to make contact with the gunman himself, Gavin Forbes. Hello, Gavin. It's Mike Moore here from Frontline.
Hello.
Gavin, why are you holding your children at gunpoint?
New from the Denton catalogue. The Denton nude swimsuit is a skin-coloured one-piece costume with durable rubber nipples up top, weather-resistant genitalia down the bottom, and simulated pubic hair that means no more waxing. You look butt naked in a nude swimsuit. New from the Denton catalogue. Gift for a better world.
That's not all. That's not how the story ends. Because as it happens, Jack fell down, broke his crown, and Jill came tumbling after.
But television isn't just laughing at itself. It's also been examining some of our most powerful institutions.
The accounts do show that Australia is in a recession. The most important thing about that is that this is a recession that Australia had to have. This is a recession that Australia had to have.
Any claim that I was consulted about that phrase beforehand is an absolute lie.
Receive, Catherine, this corporal light as an emblem of the inward light to dispel all the darkness of ignorance and error.
Let's go back to one thing that the monarchy does present, and I don't think you guys understand it or will ever understand it.
We didn't bleed Vietnam. I'm so sorry, mate. You are a bloody hero. Go on.
Hold on.
I think that's a bit rough.
I really take exception to that, Ron.
Exactly you live with a badge and that's all you got.
Do you know what that is? What is it? What is it?
Hang on. He's not going to push me.
But that's not the end of the story, not by a long shot. I can now reveal that in court today, Jack was charged with lodging a false third-party accident claim. Third-party accident claim. A claim that was witnessed by his alleged relatives who weren't even in the country when the alleged accident happened. It's enough to make you sick.
Darren doesn't look quite himself since he had the eyes done, does he? That brings us up to date here. How are things going down in Melbourne, Magda?
Well, you know us people down in Melbourne, Gary, we really know how to party. I tell you, those cocktail sausages can run, but they can't hide. So tell me, bud, does it feel like 40 years?
No, it does not. But of course, things happen very fast when you're having fun.
So there you go. 40 great years and a great night. Back to you, Gary.
Thanks, Magda. You've done a great job, and thanks to everyone down there in Melbourne. Well, it's just about time to go, but before I do, I want to take this opportunity to share something with you. I know it's nothing to be ashamed of, but, well, it's a little awkward for me. Recently, I went through a difficult patch. It was a time of great personal anxiety and stress. I didn't know where to turn. And then one day, I looked around my lounge room. And there it was. It had been there all the time, waiting to help me, waiting to save me. And suddenly my eyes were opened and I saw the light. Hallelujah! I have a word. It starts with telling and it ends with vision. It's a mighty word. I'm on a mission for television. To live without it would be absurd. Brothers and sisters, I really have seen the light. And it's a blue, flickering light. I see the light. I've had a vision, brothers and sisters. It came into my heart via my video recorder. I saw Adam and Eve install a TV. They had something to do where there ain't no shame. So Cain and Abel hook up the cable. Everybody was happy. Nobody got slaved. Brothers and sisters, I have seen the future. A future free of crime and sickness. Which is bad news for ER and Blue Heelers. It tells a story
on things perplex. And when it gets rude, or even goes nude, it's not a sin, just very safe sex. Brothers and sisters, who takes care of you when you're sick? Television. Who looks after the children when you have to go to work? Television. Who holds up the VCR and hides that nasty stain on the rug? Television. Hallelujah. Praise me. When you're all alone, you're never on your own. You got a friend in Garry and Bert and Ray. Harry, Bert and Ray. I'm on a mission for television. 40 years we've had it. Happy